said, well, no one asked you to do those things. You just kind of did it on your own. It's like my head went like all the way around, like on some extra stuff. And I'm on that new vibration. I'm building my own foundation. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. Hey guys, what is up? It's your favorite storytime YouTuber, GRWM Mariah, coming back at you guys with another story time. This story time is going to be a Pendejo story time. I know in my last Pendejo series video, it was the last one. I wasn't gonna ever talk about him again. But I thought I said if I did think of something that I did want to like speak on, or I did think of like a funny little side story, that I was gonna come on here and share it with you guys. If I didn't say that, then I meant to say that. That was the last one in the story, like in our story. But I know for a fact that I have like little mini stories that I do still want to continue to share, because Pendejo was like a big part of my life, especially in my 20s. If you guys are interested in hearing about the time that I kicked Pendejo out of my car because he was just running his mouth a little bit too much, then just keep on watching. So today's makeup look is going to be a very simple makeup look. I'm not going to do anything crazy while I'm filming. I'm probably going to retouch it up and add more to it later when I have to go to work. But right now I have like 15 minutes because I have a donating appointment. I have to be there by 12:30. Right now it's like 11:50. So you gotta hurry, girl. I got this from H-E-B. It's a Beauty Creations medium to full coverage flawless stay foundation. What shade is it? I think it's 4.5. I don't know, girl, but this is what it looks like. Only like 12 bucks at H-E-B. I will say I think maybe it's trying to be a dupe for the Too Faced foundation. I mean, I like it. It lasts me all day. It works. It is buildable, so you can wear it really light or it can be full coverage. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it like whatever. I'm not trying to get like maximum coverage because I don't have time to build like that. And excuse my one nail, okay? It came off. I gotta fix it before I go to work later. I had to move the light because I cannot see my makeup. Like, it was like a big shadow right here. During this time, it was like the formulating stages of mine and Pendejo's relationship. We had already known each other, but this was like when we were just about to get together. Also, side note, isn't this so cute? My girl's dad, well, aka my baby daddy, got it for me from Target. Anyways, I had to shout him out for a split second. Going back to the story, he was starting to come around and talk to me more and show me more attention. There was a time where I had just saw him 1 week and I was gonna see him again the next week because I was going over to his apartment like once every week. We would hook up and I would stay the night and we would just have like our cute little moment or whatever. Looking back now, I'm like, girl, what were you doing? I always say this, like every time I reflect, I'm like, what were you doing, Mariah? I would go over there and I would spend time with him almost every week during like these formulating stages of our relationship. There was 1 week where he wasn't reaching out to me, so I was like, what's going on? But of course, like, I didn't want to bug him. He eventually tells me that he is going out of town for something military related. I kind of had my suspicions. Later on, I found out, well, I didn't find out per se, but I had went through his phone and I seen that this girl invited him to go to California, and I don't know if this was the specific time, but there was a time where she got him a ticket and he went to go see her in Cali. So I don't know if that's where he went, but there was a time he was there for like a week or two. He wasn't in town and I kept bugging to see him. I was telling him that I missed him. He never really said, oh, when I get back, like, I'll see you. He never really specified that he missed me too. He just would kind of read my messages and not say anything. But then I guess when he got back, he hit me up and he was like, what are you doing? I was so taken back and I was happy because I was like, what? Pendejo was texting me and I was always the one to reach out to him, okay? But I was like, Pendejo's texting me, asking me what I'm doing. Like, okay, I guess we're getting somewhere in our relationship. So I'm like, oh, nothing. I'm just here at home watching Euphoria. He didn't know what Euphoria was. And he's like, what's Euphoria? And I started explaining the show to him. And I'm like, why? What's up? Are you okay? What's going on? Or is playing wifey to him for I don't fucking know why. He's like, I want to ask you for a favor. And I'm like, okay, shoot. Anything for you, daddy. Oh, stupid. He's like, because I'm coming back in town from my military trip. He's like, do you think that you can come and pick me up? And I was like, from the airport. I had never been to the airport. I've honestly never even been on a plane. I don't know nothing about picking up people from the airport. As soon as you get to like the entrance of the airport from the highway, they're already being weird. So I was like, I've never been. I don't know how that works, but you know what? Yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I'll go get you. Anything for Pendejo. I got my stuff. I went to go and pick him up from the airport. When I get there, I have no idea what I'm doing, okay? And I'm like going through like different terminal it's like terminal A, terminal B, I don't know what. And I'm like, where the heck is this guy at? So I call him and I'm like, where are you? He already sounds frustrated. I think I got there late, and then I was even more late because I didn't even know where I was going. Finally I find him and he's like annoyed. So I'm like, I'm sorry, I've never done this before, like I couldn't find my way, I really was trying. And he's like, no, it's fine, whatever. And so I'm trying to talk to him. He's giving me really short answers, kind of dry. I'm getting tired of it because in a way, I feel like I'm always the one to reach out to him. I'm always the one to start the conversation. I'm always the one doing everything, initiating, showing him that I'm interested, and he barely even shows me anything. Like, yes, he lets me come over. Yes, you know, we spend time together. And yes, no, it's really good when we are together. When we were together, like physically together, I would have a lot of fun. Like, I got along with him so well. He was just so funny. Like, the moments, like the time would go by so fast, and I remember it's like nothing else existed. And then spending the night and sleeping with him, like I just felt like we just had this cute little moment. Whenever time would go by, or even through text, and I would try to talk to him, he was super dry or just wouldn't respond. I don't know, like he just wasn't interested. Like I said, it just contradicted itself because when we would get back together, we would see each other in person, or we were gonna hook up, he was super passionate and like all in it, and then he was interested. I was getting annoyed. Like, I came out of my way here to come and get you, and you're being all being shit. Like, what is your problem? I put on the GPS so that way I can take him home. We get on the highway. We're a ways away from the airport already. And I kind of asked him because I'm getting over it. Like, I'm getting tired of me always kind of like chasing him in conversation, chasing him and seeing him, chasing him and initiating like booty. I'm tired of constantly being in that chasing energy. I asked him, I was like, I want to ask you something. Like, why do you hate me? And he goes, what? He's like, I don't hate you. I'm like, well, you act like you do. Like, what did I do to you? Because y'all, at this time, he didn't know all the stuff that I did to like his car and all that. Like, he had an idea, but the proof wasn't in the pudding yet. Like, he didn't have no proof. So at this time, I felt like, you know, you don't really know for sure that I did any of that. And in your head, really, ideally, you have no proof. So I've done nothing to you. What is your deal? Like, why do you always act this way with me? I asked him that. I was like, what is your problem with me? Because with me, it seems like I get on your nerves, or with me, it seems like I have to try to like see you or like chase you basically, or even I'm trying to sit here and have a conversation with you and you have nothing to say to me. You have no conversation. You're just sitting there like looking pretty. Not even a thank you going to get him. Not even like, hey, I'll give you like $50 of gas, $30 of gas. You coming out of your way to come get me really late. It was like 11 o'clock at night. Nothing. No gratitude, nothing. Just sitting on his phone, texting, and kind of ignoring me low key. Like I said, he would respond, but it was super dry responses. I told him, look, you could just sit there and listen, but I have a lot to say to you right now. Do you know why I always come and see you? Do you know why I put up with you all these years? Do you know why I basically always taking care of you, made sure you had everything that you need whenever like you need a ride, whenever like things were getting rough for you, or to make sure that you had like a nice Christmas and birthday gift, like if not from anybody, like you know that somebody cares for you. I'm always here for you. Do you know why I've done those things for these many years? And he was just like, yeah, because you like me. I'm like, Pendejo, I'm more than like you. I love you. So cringy to say, guys. I'm so sorry. But I was like, I'm like you. I care about you a lot, and I love you, and I do those things to show you deserve to be taken care of. I want a relationship with you. That's what I want. Like, I want to be with you. This doesn't seem fair to me that you give all these other girls opportunities, or like you go and you get in these little relationships with all these females, or like your little 2-week relationships. But I've been here this whole time. I've always tried to make sure you were good, and you don't ever reciprocate the energy. And it seems to me like you just don't appreciate it. You showing appreciation by giving me ass, because I could get ass from anywhere. I'm trying to tell him like, I want more from you. I don't want to be your friends of benefits. I don't want to be your friend, Benaho. Like, I want to be with you. Like, I want to be your girlfriend. Basically begging him at this point. He tells me, well, you chose to do all those things for me. I never asked you. I was speaking from my heart. You know, like, I was a dumb, young 20s girl at this point, and I was really like, oh, if I do all these things for a guy and I show him that I do all these things, he's gonna like change him or manipulate him into like liking me or wanting me or show him I'm girlfriend material, like proving myself, constantly proving and chasing this fucking guy. And I don't know why it never like got in my head that this dude does not like you like that. He does not want you like that. You are a free piece of booty and you hit him up and you serve it to him on a platter. What makes you think that he's gonna want more with you when you're not even serious? He's thinking because you give him butt all the time without him even having to ask you, there's no chasing, there's no worth or value there. In his head, if she gives it to me, she's probably giving it to the whole world, and that's how men think. Now, granted, he may not have thought that, but most men think that way. I didn't really realize this back then, but now, like, I'm aware of how it has set the tone for myself. Girl, I was like, let me show you, let me cook for you, let me play wifey, because I want to show you that I'm a good woman. Honey, if he hasn't seen it within the first, like, 3 to 6 months that you're a good woman, get the fuck out of there. He said, well, no one asked you to do those things. You just kind of did it on your own. It's like my head went, like, all the way around, like, on some exorcist shit. And I was like, oh, no, you didn't. I said, well, me picking you up from the airport, you asked me that right now. I was comfortable chilling in my house. You came to look for me. And I told him, clearly in your head, you know that I'll always be there and that you can count on me. You reached out to me knowing that I'm your fucking ride or die and I have your back no matter what you've done to me. I've always just truly, purely loved you to take care of you like that. But where are your other girls? The girl that you went to go see, I was like, why didn't she have an Uber ready and waiting for you? She cares about you so much. And she's such a good female to you. Like, why'd you have to call me? Like, why didn't she take care of you since she's so good to you? He wasn't saying anything. And I was like, yeah, okay. I said, but no. I was like, you think that I owe it to you or something. And I just chose to be stupid and this is all on me? Which he kind of was right, okay? That's neither here nor there. But in the moment, I was like, and you just think it's all on me? I said, hell no. And I exited the first exit that came up. I had no idea where I was going. If you're from San Antonio, this was like Castle Hills area. And I don't know my way around there for nada, okay? We were on 410 and I exited the Castle Hills exit. And that was like the first one. So you have to go on a ramp and then it takes you to a neighborhood because I turned right. A neighborhood right when you exit Castle Hills from 410. I pulled over into the neighborhood, like the first or second street. And I told him, get the fuck out of my car. It was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, since it's my fault and I chose to do all these things for you, well, you know what? You can get out my car and I won't do anything for you anymore because clearly you don't appreciate it. And I should have stood on business, okay, looking back, but no, of course, you know, your girl was real dumb back then. He gets mad the fact that I even gestured and I told him to get out of my car. He grabs all his stuff, like his bags and all that. And he's like, okay, bet. He gets out of my car. And y'all, this man done pulled his whole military tactics out on me because he disappeared, okay? I was like, fine, fuck you, da da da. Did a U-turn and I started driving off. I even got on the highway, okay? But it's cold. It was like maybe end of December, early January-ish. I'm down the highway and I'm like, Mariah, he doesn't have a ride. He was about a good like 15-20 miles away from his house. Although my intentions were to like take care of myself and, you know, like stand up for myself, I just could not. My heart was like, no, I could not leave that man out in the cold like that. I was like, no, Mariah, this is not you. This is not the kind of person you are. Like, at minimum, just take him home. So I turned around because I felt bad. And I go back into the neighborhood to try to look for him. And I'm like driving with my high beams on. I'm trying to call him and it rings and he just would not answer. So I was just like, oh my gosh, and what did I do? Because now I'm going to be out here all night trying to look for this guy. Even if he were to like call an Uber or something and he said he was going to be here and I'm still going to be looking for him. I kept digging myself in a bigger hole. They wouldn't stop calling him and he answers and he's like, what? Like, what do you want? And I was like, where are you at? Just come back in the car. All toxic. And he was just like, no, And he hangs up. So I call him again and I'm like, come back in the car. Like, I can't leave you out here. And he was just like, no. So then I seen him. I stop in the road. I'm like, look, I'm back on that street that I left you. Can you just please come out? Like, please come to the car. So he hangs up, he comes to the car, and he's pissed. Like, I knew when he was mad, because you wouldn't get no expression out of him, nothing. Like, dead silence. You would have thought that man was dead, sitting up with his eyes open. And I'm like, pendejo, I'm sorry. And I'm like apologizing to him. He basically starts talking. He's like, I'm tired of your shit, Mariah. He turns it around on me. But yeah, he was the ungrateful one, like using me all the time and leading me on. So he was like, I'm tired of your shit, Mariah. Like, you really didn't have to like kick me out like that. If you really had a problem with me, you would have just stopped talking to me and you would have just taken me home. And I was like, no, like, you're right. I overreacted. I'm sorry that I did that. That was super immature of me. I was like, but you really did piss me off when you said that I didn't have to do those things. No, I didn't have to do those things, but somebody actually does care about you, pendejo. Like, I care with all of my heart. I would do anything for you. I didn't mean it like I will go to the extremes and be your slave or nothing, but like, I care about you. Like, I don't want you to struggle out here. I want you to have everything you need. I want you to be taken care of. I want you to know that you're loved. And I was trying to tell him these things, like, I just want to be with you. We've been friends for this long. We've been seeing each other this long. And it seems like we never really get anywhere, but at the end of the day, I just want to be with you. He was like, quiet. He was like, I care about you too. He's like, I don't know. I told him, I was like, well, there's no rush. There's no pressure on it. Like, I get it. I understand. But at the same time too, like, I'm being upfront and telling you what my feelings are. I only see you once a month is crazy to me. Oh, y'all, I was tripping. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The whole thing, I was tripping. Because, like, we kind of, like, talked about it and I kicked him out. I don't know if it like opened his eyes to be like, I kind of am being shitty towards her, but he started coming around more and he started like actually like being willing to like go on dates with me and stuff. Like, a part of him, I feel his energy, like a part of him was 1 foot in and the other was like 1 foot out. Like, he did care for me, but it wasn't enough to like actually want to be with me. And I should have seen that and just like bounced, but I didn't. I was blinded from his attractiveness from the beginning, because in my head Pendejo was fine, and not realizing that there's other fine men, there's finer men out here. I've gotten really great treatment since then from letting him go, and there's so many good men. Like, that's not saying I'm sleeping with them, okay, but there's so many more great men that are willing to do the most for a good woman. And as long as you know your worth and value and you set your expectations and you show up according to how you want them to treat you, men will do it. Like, well, from my experience, they'll do like about anything for you. And you shouldn't have to sit here and list your attributes to anybody and be like, well, why can't I be your girlfriend? That was like the worst thing I could have done for myself. We had always joked, like, remember when I kicked you out of my car in some random neighborhood? But I really was mad, because like, why he gotta go there? Now I'm back and I finished my makeup. I know my hair looks crazy, my makeup might even look crazy, but like I said, I'm in a time crunch and I need to leave like now. That was a story of the time that I kicked Pendejo out of my car for him saying some stupid shit. Definitely some life lessons in that whole relationship. That goes to show, please don't ever beg a man to be with you. As a female, please don't ever feel like you have to sit here and prove to a man that you're a girlfriend material or wifey material or anything like that. If a man sees that potential in you, he will just see it in you. Don't even worry about having to prove or having to show. Like, show your interest, and just you existing should be more than enough, because the guy really wants to be with you and is attracted to you and enjoys time with you. He will make that effort. You don't have to do all those things that I did and tell them like, I want to be with you, like, what are you doing? I do all these things for you. And then doing things for somebody and expectation that they're going to give you something in return isn't right either. It's conditional love and conditional giving. And if you really want to show somebody that you care about them, you need to be unconditional. You do these things just because you love them, just because you care about them, not because you're expecting something in return. I hope you guys gained some wisdom from this and don't do what I did, okay? It's not worth you wasting time in the middle of the night chasing somebody and looking for somebody in a neighborhood or kicking them out of your car, okay? Don't do what I did. If it gets to that point, you need to bounce. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Thank you so much for my new subscribers, and I hope you like and comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you've ever experienced anything like that. Hit the notification bell for the next time I post your favorite story times, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.